Good evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and tonight I am joined, as always, by Rob, Fat Stacks of Comics. Oh, I thought he was going to bring himself in because he has the control, but
I do, but I didn't know what I was doing. Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. Jeez. I guess maybe if we talked about actually what we were going to do before we just go live every once in a while, maybe there might be some semblance of polish. But then again, how do you polish a turd? No, that would imply that the show is a turd. That's not right.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks.
Because this is an award-winning show.
Oh, yes, and thank you to the audience that we have that supports this show and the guests that come on, and of course, the people like you that come on and help me run the show, Rob.
I'm just a guy who fills a chair and bounces some oddball voices here and there. But the real star of the show, especially today, is our co-host, or not our co-host, our guest. That's what we call him. We call him guests these days, don't we?
Rob and I hit the button at the same time. Yes, hey, we are a polished team.
How's it going?
All right, we have Comics by the Bay. Good evening, Matt. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing. Actually, I'm his brother. I'm here. He left his laptop alone. I'm sneaking in.
It's always the opportunity to start putting stuff like "My brother's great" on his Facebook page, right?
Right.
I heard. I heard y'all are doing like top 10 books, right?
Yes.
10, a 1, and a 1.
Yeah. Oh, I only got 10.
There's some additional counting we're going to count on you to do there.
The problem is if you don't have enough toes, you're in trouble.
Right.
I got enough teeth though, right?
Maybe.
I brought my favorite 10 nudie books. We got Penthouse. We got Playboy. I think I got a little. Are y'all ready for my top 10?
Yeah, you had to learn how to read somewhere.
That's right. Hold on, my brother's calling me. Hold on. I think he wants his laptop back. Hold on, I'll be back.
Starting with a bang, folks. What's going on, Matt?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much. So, before we say hi to the chat, we're going to start these shows like we always do. Who is Matt? What is Comics by the Bay? And why should people be tuning into your channel? For those watching on the rewind who don't know you yet and can go sub you up.
All right. Comics by the Bay. First off, don't go check it out. It's a horrible channel. Give a thumbs down on every one of the videos. No, I'm a total newbie to comics. My buddy at work got me back into comics about a year ago. And then as I was starting to get back into comics, he wanted to do a comic show on YouTube. Totally new to that. And I started it going. We ended up like parting ways. He didn't want to be on the show anymore, but I wanted to keep it going. So I did. So it turned in, it's just like kind of evolved. It's only been going for like 6 months, 8 months now. It was the middle of this year that started it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, now it's just like a weekly comic review, a preview of books that are coming out. And honestly, I've really been wrapped into like, as I'm finding other channels, I'm really liking like Slim. Whenever Sean posts videos of like him going out to eat and stuff, I like that. I like different stuff outside of the comic stuff. So I'm trying to like include that. I hope like people don't hate that, but I don't know. That's what the channel's going for right now.
Right. You got to do your own thing. Now, why Comics by the Bay? Do you you live by the Bay, obviously, I'm guessing?
A Bay.
I get so many questions about this. Like, which bay do you live by? So I live in Melbourne, Florida, but right below me, where my buddy was from, he lives in Palm Bay, Florida. So we kept like, we asked everybody at work, like, we need a name for the channel, and pitched around all these different ideas. One kid came up with Comics by the Bay. We went with it. And then he came up with Rusty Staples after. And we were like, dang it, why didn't you come up with Rusty Staples? We like that so much better. But it stuck.
Nice. Well, let's say a quick hello to our chat, which is already hopping. So we have Brandon Looney Tunes. Good evening, Brandon. Nice to see you, sir. We have Ruby Guzman. How's it going, Ruby G? Nice to see you, sir. Comics by the Bay. We've heard things about him. He's our guest. So The Cult of
Weird,
Pop,
weird
thank you, sir.
things.
Happy to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Joe from Anachronic Comics, good evening, buddy. Hope all is well with you. And we also have One Shot Comics, Nicholas, who just got a great haul in today, was posting it on Instagram. Go check it out. Brian, LCS, good evening, Brian. Fresh off his great show on Saturday night. And our co-host is even chiming in there, telling you to go check out everyone and greetings to the room. And we have Psychedelic Comics, another mainstay. Good evening, sir. Happy to see you. No show is complete without Las Cruces, 1971. Good evening, Las Cruces. Nice to see you, sir. Switch Comics, hello. Digger Jim, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you. Another host on the channel quite a bit. John's Comics with Kids. Good evening, sir. And we are just filling right up here, guys. And guys, keep commenting because Matt's already nervous, so let's just keep piling people in here.
Make me
Collecting
more nervous,
Bird, good
please. Come
evening.
on.
And I see
Oh,
Cuppy and Annette and
right? And we got Jerry the Jitterbug in here as well. Good evening, Jerry. Nice to see you, sir. Was just talking with him earlier. One of the best guys on YouTube, Kenneth Berg. Good evening. You just got a new subscriber, Comics by the Bay, Matt.
Thank you.
Son of Bruce, Chris from Retro Rockets. Great guy, great part of our community. Seth 11, another great part of the community. Good evening. All right, and we are rolling with a full house. So I hope that doesn't make you too nervous. Everybody is watching you now, Matt. Don't screw a thing
they're
up.
all gonna laugh at you.
Right?
Oh wait, no, they're all gonna laugh with you. That's what it is.
Thanks,
Matt,
Rob.
that's why I'm here.
No
I'm
problem.
the ugly relief. So once they laugh at me, the guest has it made.
Hey,
So
I want to say, Rob, I was in the chat room. I forget what video it was the other day or what show, but I commented about my daughter giving me a SpongeBob shirt, and that's what I get for my birthdays instead of.
Oh yeah.
I had to wear it.
nice.
Shout out to my daughter.
It might have been last week's episode with
22,
who was his kids were getting them.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's it.
E-Man, switch. All right. So without further ado, Matt, let's get right into it. Let's see your first book and why it's one of your favorites, sir.
Okay. First off, and I kind of stole the idea. I watched Brian's video. He did the run of Moon Knight going right now. I picked Moon Knight number 3. This is the first appearance of Hunter's Moon. Like I said, I'm new getting back into comics, and I had to go back and look at my books whenever I got back into it. And I thought it was just this year. It was actually like October, November of last year. I slowly started getting back in. My friend was getting me into comics, and I was like, I'm not diving in. I'm just getting X-Men. I got X-Men, and then it slowly evolved from there. Just
I was gonna say there's no diving in when you start with X-Men.
Well,
That's going
especially
in the deep end of the pool with 14 titles starting out.
That's the last couple of years where they've been all these interconnected, constant crossovers and everything else. You're just like, sorry.
That's what I'm finding out. I tried to keep doing all these little hookups to the X-Men books, but no, I'm going back just to main story, I think. But he got me.
Good luck with that.
Thanks. He got me into Moon Knight, though. That's him and another guy from work. They kept talking about Moon Knight. I had to listen to them talk about Moon Knight over and over about the books being awesome. I was like, I want part of this. And that's another reason I picked this book as number 1. This is my first key book getting back into comics. You can see, I bought it from the LCS. $10 because I bought it late. I had to pay $10. This is my first big purchase getting back into comics.
Ooh.
It's $10.
So you started collecting up again about a year ago, and been pretty much just picking up as they're coming off the shelf, not worrying about going back and picking up back issues and stuff for the most part.
Right.
I take it from your pickup that you're a Marvel guy.
He picked one book. How can you tell that from one book?
Because when you go back, your first book you pick up is from whatever company is your favorite.
Right. I was a big X-Men guy, and that was the thing. Like, whenever he started getting me back into comics, I was like, I'm just going Marvel. That's what I grew up on. X-Men in the 90s, that's it. And I've slowly branched out from there. I had the biggest, like, I'm not going into indies. I will not. I'm just sticking with Marvel. And slowly Marvel's becoming less favorite and indies are more favorite.
Very cool.
I said I'd stay away from indies too, and now I have like 5 or 6 books I absolutely love. Evening, Chris. And we heard it here first from Joe Bolivar Trask that there's too many mutants. So,
Get those muties.
And they can all be
goodness.
resurrected now. There's no
Well, yeah,
there's no high
but
stakes.
there's no consequences, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's because you can't live in a world where there's no Dazzler. It's just not right. You got to bring Dazzler back in Firestar. You got to, otherwise
Yep.
it's just not worth living. All right, book number 2.
Book number 2. This is a book nobody owns. I am a proud owner of this. You guys be jealous. This is Super Families number 1.
Nice.
So after my buddy got me set up at the LCS, this is a good 4 or 5 months after I started kind of getting back into it. There's this book it was obviously a local family that shopped there. They got their 6-year-old, 5-year-old daughter to draw a book. It's like a 4-page book, but it was $3 on the shelf. All the money went to her. I couldn't pass it up. This community,
That
you
is
know how
awesome.
you got to
Right.
support things like that. And I thought it was awesome.
Right, you got to help build your confidence for her to keep going and keep learning and not get kicked around in life like the rest of us have.
Switch thinks he's got a second print.
Yeah. Switch, where's the keychain of that?
It's the rare second print.
Yeah. Marco needs to make a keychain of that one.
That's right. Support this girl.
Right? Yeah, Seth and Love, we got to support the babes.
Babies.
Oh, babies. Yep, sorry.
She's 6. We don't call them babes, Gary.
Well, babes, like
Unless
babes
you're-
in blankets, like
No,
a bunch
no.
of babies.
No, just don't drop it off anything after that and leave it as babes. It just sounds wrong. And at your age, you can't afford to be misconstrued.
Right. Well, I'm over 50.
Exactly.
I can say old-timey stuff.
No, they don't. Nobody wants you referring to a 6-year-old girl as a babe,
From
as a
the mouth
50-year-old
of
man.
babes.
Trust me on this one, Gary.
Number 3,
And
we're
this
moving
video is
on.
beyond violation.
Right? There we go, Switch. Gary about to get canceled.
Suddenly he can't be within 300 yards of an elementary school.
Right? Yeah, look at Brian. I'm going to need that.
I'm going to need that award back.
If you shipped it, it's too late, Brian.
Oh yeah, John Jang has an exclusive cover coming out on that Super Families.
Right?
Hey, you saw it here first, though, on Gary B's channel.
That's right. Gary B exclusive reveal.
All right, what do you got for number 3?
Number 3, you'll make fun of me, but you know what? All right, it's
Do I make
Venom.
fun of people? No one's gonna make fun of Venom.
Venom Lethal Protector 1. This book,
foil
With the red foil cover.
yeah, no, but I have to tell this story, and this is what I'm probably going to get made fun of more of. My childhood collection of comic books, my mom kept. It was in the attic forever, and about 5 years ago, I have a 6-year-old. She just turned 7-year-old daughter. Our old house, it was a small house. We fought for room and everything. I ended up throwing my old comic collection away.
Oh, that's rough.
And this is one, I have these books that stick in my head that I just remember. Venom, Lethal Protector 1. I remember Maximum Carnage. I remember, I put it up there, Wolverine number 50. Those dumb books, they're not worth tons of money or anything, but it means something to me. I used to love to draw, and that was something I brought with this book. I've shown it on a couple of videos, I think already, but I had this drawing I did of Venom.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Back when I was 8 or 9 years old, my dad was big into art, and he tried to get me into art. And so what did I do? I was already connected into comics, comic cards. Cards were my big thing. More than comics, the cards, everybody was collecting trading cards, and I was in elementary school then. In 4th grade, and that got me into comics. I started with cards, got into comics, but drawing wrapped me in more, and I was so obsessed with Venom, the symbiote. Venom and Carnage were so fun to draw, just because the teeth, the drool, all the symbiote coming off of them. It was awesome.
And you can't go wrong with Mark Bagley drawing Venom.
Well,
right?
that cover is just, if you were collecting comics in the 90s, that cover just hits so many different nostalgia points, right? Because it was huge when it came out. It's got the foil goodness that we loved at that time. And it's just a classic book that brings back a lot of nostalgia. The only question really is that your only copy?
That is no, it's my only copy. And here's the thing.
Well, you see,
I
that's
start
where we make fun of you for only having one copy, not for having a copy, but for only having a copy. It's such a
there
great book.
there will be more. Don't worry. I sat
Phenomenal.
there, I kept seeing it at shows that I was going to. And it's like 20 or 30 bucks on the rack. And I was like,
Yeah.
I no, I'm not ready to pay that for this book. And I found it. This book was like $2 or $3 at a local comic store. I went like a
Wow.
county away, and I was like, okay,
Sure. There's if you're hunting in the wild on that book, VF plus near mint minus, that book is a $10-15 book raw, if it's got a couple little minor blemishes on it, because there's a million, literally, there's like a million copies out there.
right.
So it's
Well,
not a
wasn't
rare
that like
book.
one of the first times where the villain got a miniseries besides like
I
Doctor
don't
Doom
think
back in the
so.
day? And
I don't think so, but
no,
it's just a matter of simply the fact that there's so many of it out there. The price is low, but it's an important book from a nostalgia standpoint. The only time where that book hits any kind of value is when you start getting if you have a 9.8, but it's just fun. And Sam De La Rosa is all over the place. He'll sign and remark those things like there's no tomorrow. He draws a wicked Venom on the cover. Uh, just a great book to have. I always recommend having a couple just in case you stumble across Sam De La Rosa, and you can have them sign it.
whenever I end up with one, I always give it away locally because I can't stand Venom.
What?
Don't
I've
worry
given
about
away a
Terry's.
couple of them.
Terry's mentally unstable. We've already established this, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not a symbiote guy.
Yeah.
I'm the
All right.
hashtag too many symbiotes person. All right,
Well, there
number
are.
4, sir.
Well, that series is the series that launches the Too Many Symbiotes, right? Because that's where
Right.
we get from that Lethal Protector. All of a sudden, 5 new symbiotes come out of that book, and then all the other stuff. So,
All
Okay,
right.
number 4, sir.
All right. Next
Oh,
book.
you're good.
This is my first. All right. My first key, like recollecting, was the Hunter's Moon book. My first big key off. This is my first eBay purchase, right?
ooh,
I thought I was going big. I paid $30 for first appearance of Omega Red, but don't stop laughing.
No, it's a popular book.
X-Men, the X-Men series, like whenever I was getting back in, I was talking to my friends at work and I was like, what do I want to look for whenever I go to shows? Like,
Mhm.
what do I want to, my buddy was collecting Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not ready to dive that deep into trying to get those books.
That's a good call. I've said
I,
it once, and I'll say it again. If you want to start collecting Spider-Man, think about Spectacular Spider-Man. It's a great run at a lot less money.
right, right. And X-Men,
Good story.
it's not uncanny. I'll start with this. I'll pick up the keys. I'll go from there, which
Mhm.
has got me now into uncanny. But
Well, it makes total sense. I mean, that's a great run. Again, if you were collecting in the 90s, that run was big. It was a very influential between it and the cartoon. And I'm not an X-Men guy, but I totally get and respect that is a run that if I would that in your position, I would say, hey, yeah, when I'm out and about shopping, I'm going to look for these books. I'm going to pick these up and rebuild that X-Men run because for the most part, you could do so at a
And that was
reasonable
the
rate.
time when Jim Lee was a god.
right, right. I remember Jim Lee again. Like I was into the cards. Remember the Jim Lee, the trading cards he did. That set that that art just it brings me back. So
Yeah. Dude, when that series first came out, I bought every cover plus the one cover that had all the covers on it. The fold out one. I I followed that series for a while, and then but everyone got that series when it came out. That was the biggest thing. It was that, and it was the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man title. Like when those two hit, everyone was buying them. And then you had the Death of Superman come along, and everyone was buying
yeah,
that too.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing that on the spinner rack at Publix, and I'd never picked it up. I wish I would have. Well, I still wouldn't have it. But
All right,
Yeah.
number 5.
number 5, can I do something that's not a comic but closely
Yes,
comic related?
absolutely.
I picked it up off eBay because I remember these, and you guys probably remember too. But again, I'm a little younger than you guys. My
Oh, he's
mom.
already taking shots at us. His
I'm
first
not.
time on the
Well,
show.
we established that when he said he was growing up in the 90s.
Right?
Go
Born
ahead.
in 84. So I was, this book came out whenever, what I was, like 8 or 9, 9. A wizard
Oh, yeah.
book. I
Love
remember my
Wizard.
mom, she had all her magazines coming in the mail, and she like gave me the little list of like, do you want to pick something out coming in the mail that could like, so I can add more to my list? And there was like nothing, but there was Wizard in there. And I was like, yes, I will pull Wizard. And I remember because I was a big Wolverine and Gambit fan out of all the X-Men. So I had to, this is one of the books I threw away, but I had to rebuy it on eBay it was cheap. But this book is so fun to go back into because it gives you all the price values of comics
Back then.
in the day. Yes.
Yeah, and it's insane, right? When you look at him.
Yes. Go back and compare it to now, and you're like, wow, if only I
And
could
their
time
film
travel.
Now
casting is always fun.
here's something to be interesting is to take a key book that was there and look at it and then look at what cover price of books at that same time was. So like a cover price at that time was what, maybe $1.25?
Right.
I don't know. And you go, what's it to today? So roughly 5 times that. So if you took the price of a key that's listed there in the price guide and multiplied that by 5, is that roughly what it would go for today? Has it stayed on pace or is it different?
Exploded with inflation.
Exploded. It exploded.
Oh, we'll see. Oh, it's something curious. Now I want to know. That's another show now.
Right? And Wizard was just great fun. Like I looked forward to it every month, and you would just sit there, go through. I love the fan film castings, and then you had some great articles. But there was always at least one or two great things in Wizard that you could have some fun with.
Yeah, for sure. I was just flicking through right like before I came on here, and it had my Venom 1 in here of like books you might want to check out as they're coming out. Just nostalgia throwback. It's cool.
Yeah.
You even got K-pop saying she always grabs Seals ones when she can. She loves them. Brother Joe, yes, absolutely. All right, number 6, sir.
All right, number 6. Getting into a little more away from nostalgia and on the eBay.
Nice.
Uncanny 133. First time, it's the first solo appearance of Wolverine on Uncanny on the cover. Like I said, I'm a big Wolverine and Gambit were my two main guys out of that 90s lineup. You know, you had your classic 90s lineup, the X-Men from the TV show. The TV show like laid it out for all us 90s kids of like that's what you watched on Saturday. You picked your favorites, and you know, everybody loved Wolverine, but I had to get this book.
And it's such a good cover too. And you know, being a Gambit fan, you have to have X-Men Annual 14, and there's a chance for you to win that on Rob Fat Stack's 1,000 subscriber giveaway.
What?
Sorry, I couldn't resist the segue for a quick plug.
Plug it.
Yeah.
Let's make them big a second. Show that baby off. And Rob, when can you win that?
Well, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, so we're less than 50 away. Once I get there, then we'll announce the show. But you basically go to my channel at YouTube at Rob's Fat Stacks, subscribe. Then there's a video that at the front there it talks about list of other people to subscribe to, and then we'll be giving this away some along with a whole bunch of other slabs, signed and remarked slabs, some Venom slabs, some Wolverine, X-Men slabs, some some Spider-Man, some Schomburg goodness with Invaders, some Batman, all kinds of great stuff. So thank you for that shameless plug opportunity.
Of that, you're going to want to tune in Thursday night when Rob Fat Stacks of Comics is our guest on In the Hot Seat with the Usual Suspects. We're putting him on the other side of the chair.
Good luck making me talk, Gary.
right? Your lips are always sealed, Rob. Can't ever get you to say a word. All right, back to our guests. Sorry for the short commercial break.
After
You're
these
good.
messages,
Uncanny 133. So X-Men cartoon was your first experience with Wolverine, or did you see him in the comics first?
No, I think the cards was what like me and all my
Opened the
friends
world
were
for
sitting
you.
there into, and then the TV series came out, and that just helped influence it more and more, and then it turned into comics from there.
Now, why the cards first? Was it just the art on them that drew you guys to him, you and your friends, or
I don't know.
why was that the gateway? Like, what were you collecting baseball and sports cards as well, and then saw the comic ones?
I was not. I don't know if it was just like a thing in elementary school of like we were all doing it and you could sit there and trade and have fun sitting there trading them back and forth. It ended up turning into like after I grew up a little bit more, it turned into basketball, football, baseball, whatever cards. Because we had the Orlando Magic here. The Orlando Magic blew up in the 90s. So that was like
Oh yeah,
once, and that's where I kind of died off. It's sad, but that's where I died off from like comics is whenever you went into the sports world from the whole comic world. But
unless you collected
they can
Super Pro,
coexist,
and then
though,
you could make them together.
right? All right, so number 7.
number 7. So my first big con that I went to, Comic Con, my buddy, it's like, let's go to DeLand. That's like, it was a good 2-3 hours away. We'll drive a little distance, go see what they have. It's bigger than like, you have your little cons around like your town that are the
Right.
same vendors over and over and over. So we went to this one and I had in my head, I was still, again, I'm still new, but the Batman slap meme?
Yes,
That I
Everyone,
found
yes.
I found it and I was so stoked because I got it for like 10-15 bucks. And it
Ooh,
was
what a
in
great
Wow.
get!
condition. Guys, like, it had the one staple is a little rusty on it. I was like, I don't care. I want it for the whole meme factor to say I own that
It's the
book.
only reason to really own the book.
Right.
But it's still a cool piece of comic history because that meme is so popular.
It's the reason that book actually sells for usually way more than what you paid. I mean,
That's what I was looking on eBay, and I was like, whenever this guy, I asked him, I was like, how much are you selling it for? And he told me that. I was like, sure.
well,
Okay.
remember, take an eBay price and cut it in half. But I mean, generally,
Right.
And
E-Man.
right.
He's from the other coast, my friend. E-Man's out here in the San Francisco Bay Area with me, so yes.
Okay. East Coast over here.
But I know I've been in a chat with you where people have just assumed you were from the San Francisco Bay.
Yeah,
You
I know.
switched to
I
the
wish
Bay,
it was
huh?
Rust. I wish we had picked Rusty Staples because this whole Bay confusion.
Right, and I was just gonna bring that back up too, like you're going through trauma buying that book because of the Rusty Staples name was coming back to haunt you.
Swampy's
Right.
Comics.
Yeah. We don't even really live by a bay. It's an ocean. We have an ocean and then like a river in between. We got
And then a
little
lot of
bays.
swampland in between.
Yeah.
But you can always host a comic show on your channel called Rusty Staples.
Hey.
Or he could be Rusty Staples.
Right?
Swampy's Comics.
Yeah, you can create more characters. You have a third brother called Rusty Staples, right?
No, 2 is enough.
Rusty Staples is his name for the other hub show.
Right. We're gonna multiplicity him here.
There you go. That's my Pepe, Steve.
Right. I almost said my favorite quote from that movie, but can't do it on here. All right,
She touched my
number
Pepe,
8.
Steve.
She touched my Pepe, Steve.
Yeah, that's exactly. You can say that. Sorry.
It's okay. It's a show for men of our age.
Two old kooks make references nobody else gets. Film at 11. Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know.
Right? Oh, the Muppets.
All right. Next book. Wolverine number 1.
There you
Oh,
go.
Frank Miller.
How many of those do you have?
3.
Excellent. Good answer.
Is that a good answer?
One for each claw, right?
Right. No, I'm actually giving away one of my 400 subs giveaway if it happens.
Wow.
But
Nice.
one, because I got it, I bought this one first, and I was like, I need 2, 3, and 4, and I kept going over eBay, and I finally found a decent auction that was going off, and it was just 2, 3, and 4, and it had horrible pictures. You know how you sit there and go through and keep like examining the pictures, and like
Nope.
sometimes you risk it. You risk it on
Nope.
one, and this one I did. It had number 1 in there. I thought it would be a horrible condition, and actually turned out to be in really decent condition, and it was really low price. I paid for it, so it was like, I love having it, but I would love someone else to have it too. I don't know, because I got it. I feel like I got it for free out of paying for 2, 3, and 4 for what I did. So
Now, did you get the other one, the other number 1 with the John Buscema cover?
I don't know artists. I don't know writers.
Oh,
That
you're
good.
talking
Stop
about
it.
the number 1 of the regular series. Is what you're
Yeah.
talking about, Gary? Gary's talking about
That one. Yeah.
No, that
The
was a
one-
4-issue series minis too, wasn't it, Rob? With the
No.
John Buscema cover?
no. There's only one cover of the 4-issue limited series here.
Uh-oh. I put this Omega guy in a timeout, being a lookout. Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you,
no, it's
Blue
good.
Wrenches. I put the
You always,
other
it's
guy
always
on
good,
it.
it's always good to keep a Wolverine nearby just to keep an eye on you. So you always.
So it's a dark cover. He's standing in the middle with bodies around him.
Right.
Oh
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
issue- that's the first issue of technically it's volume 2, but it's the first full ongoing series.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, I have
So,
that.
Yeah, classic cover. And on the back, it's just a full page of Wolverine.
Yeah, I just picked up a copy of that.
Listen,
Great.
we don't mean to put you on the spot, Matt.
It's okay. It's okay. This is who I am. The community is learning.
I will tell you, I mean, from a Wolverine standpoint, that Wolverine book, that was
There you go.
my first slab, was actually
Really?
that Wolverine book. The very first slab I bought.
I agree with Durs. Wolverine's overrated.
No. I like Durs.
And K-pop, the bots want to see the Rusty Staples, the sex bots.
Do we have sex bots all in here?
Oh,
No, we blocked them
banned
already. I was
Yeah.
I was blocking them while you guys were talking.
I
I
was
was
so
reporting
excited
it.
when I got a sex bot on my channel.
That's when you know that you're making it, or they bother.
I haven't-
to
I
promote
haven't
porn
made
on
it
your
yet.
channel. Oh,
All right.
oh, number
Next up.
9. Back on track. Damn it.
All right, back on track. Next book. This is from the same con I went to that I got the World's Finest book from. We were just going around tables, and there's this book just laying out on top. It's like somebody had picked it up and then decided not to get it. I'm a huge Wolverine fan, huge Gambit fan. This book was
Oh,
laying
of
there.
course. Nice. Great get.
Yeah, it was like 40, 50 bucks. And my buddy's like, you can haggle these people, haggle them. And I'm not a good person to like haggle. I don't know. I'm just too honest or whatever. So it was my first time. I was like, I'll give you like 35. It's like, okay, sold. Okay. It's in
Right?
decent condition for what I've seen these things go on eBay, but it means more to me. I'm never selling it.
Right.
Well, you can't
Yeah.
get that for 35 now.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's a great book to have, that the intended first appearance.
Oh, but we have the
It's the story chronologically in the story. It's the first appearance of Gambit. It's
We wanna-
definitely the first cover appearance of Gambit.
You gonna show it again?
No, it's over. I already showed it. But you can win it. Thanks for mentioning that.
I should send mine out to get graded. It's just sitting in a box.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's where I am in comics, but I'm not big on the graded books. I would rather have a raw copy that I can sit there and flip through.
There's a lot of people who would agree with you.
I don't know.
Well,
My
usually when I send something in, Matt, I have a reader copy of it as well.
Yeah.
So I think 99% of what I have slabbed, I have other copies of.
Or like a facsimile copy or something, or
Right. You got because I'm a reader first. I got to be able to read the story.
Yeah, I keep for reading. I keep my facsimiles of my Action 1 and my Batman Detective 27 and my ASM 1, my AF 15. Those are all facsimile copies for reading.
The rest are in the vault.
Unfortunately, I don't have a slab of any of those. But hey, if I ever do,
Now, you've touched on this a few times. You got back in the comics. through cards. But when did you start going to cons?
Probably like I said, my buddy from work got me back into comics probably October, November last year. And I like again, I was like, I'm not jumping all in. You can get me in on X-Men because I'll connect with something I liked from my past. So I picked up X-Men, picked up Moon Knight, then Venom came out, the new series, started pulling Venom, then the new Hulk series, started pulling Hulk. And then like from there, it started snowballing. It was like, okay, all these new series, all these things I used to like, I'm into it. Now I got to see like what writers I like, what artists I like. And then the con started coming up, and he said he was going to them, and he asked if I wanted to go. And I'm, yeah, sure, I'll go. But it was like the first one I went to, I was such a newbie because like I didn't have a goal of what I was like looking for. It was like
better.
I guess my goal was like I'm gonna try to find books that I remember from my childhood past. And then I saw all those books and how expensive they were. I was like, okay, maybe I need to get more like on a run or something, a series that I'm going for. And that's when I kind of decided on like Wolverine. Wolverine, I went down that path, tried to collect all that run. I got like 1 through 100 about. That's my biggest full run.
I say that's pretty good.
And then Gambit, I've tried to get in all the little Gambit series. Now I'm starting to go into Uncanny and get as much as I can. But like again, it's like how much do I want to pay? How much do I want to dive in?
I mean that Wolverine 1 through 100. I mean I only went to about 115 before I then sold off all my comics the first round when I quit comics. But you saying that you just got back into it. So here's my segue from my correlation to yours is when did you stop collecting and what made you stop the first time?
Back when I was a kid, like young kid.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, no.
You're saying you grew up is what you're saying.
I guess so. It was the whole like yes, I'm sorry. It was what we were into, and then
sports grow up and discover
girls
and sports, and
exactly.
The comics aren't always aligned with that. Sometimes it is, sometimes not. Just spend what you look for.
Yep,
got it.
Being like 10 years old, sports were more important. Yep.
All right, fair enough. There you go, another one for you there, Gary.
I know. They're definitely in here when they heard about Rusty Staples.
That's right. It triggered them.
Now, is there any run that you're actually legitimately trying to complete right now that you want every issue?
I'd still like to keep going on Wolverine. Even like, you get up past like into the 2000s of Wolverine. In the 2000s, like any comic, it seems like it got hokey. So I don't know. I'll keep diving.
Yeah, some of the art's really, really cringy and bad, and the stories are.
You just limit yourself to volume 1.
Right.
What, the first 4 books?
Oh no, volume 2. 1 and 2. There you go.
Yeah, no, that like I said, I'm diving into Uncanny. That's my next run, or like how far I go into the early books, we'll see. But
there you go. Hey, collect what you like, and
right, because I mean, and with me collecting, like I like complete runs of stuff, which only works if you have niche tastes. And so I collected things like ROM Space Knight, got all 75 issues in the 4 annuals. Wasn't that hard to get, readily available in the back issue bins. It's when you want to collect something like X-Men or Spider-Man or Batman or Superman, where that is a task that's pretty much impossible. You can't do it, So you select what parts of the runs that you are going to complete. And that's, I have the complete run from here to here, but a complete run of anything like bronze and older is just rough.
That's why you do it in
went over
segments.
100.
That's what I've been doing with my Batman run. First it was from 500 to current, and then it went to 400 to current, and now that I've done all that, it's 300 to current. My 300s are almost done. Now it's 200 to current.
Right.
Is that how it works?
That's how I've been doing it.
Right.
Just
one until you hit that price point, you can't spend anymore. And they're like,
I think
and here I'm good.
I think 200 could probably be. I'm going to tap out on it, but for the most part, but because I'm spending too much money on my Amazing Spider-Man.
And you're trying to have 1 through 100 slabbed, aren't you, Rob?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the reality is, aside the books that I don't have are basically the ones I don't have that aren't slabbed. Everything else I have is either been slabbed or at grading company right now. So save one book. I'm sorry. There's one book I've been holding on to raw that I haven't submitted because I'm confident that I'm going to upgrade it and I don't want to waste the money.
Oh, your AF-15?
No.
Just kidding.
Hey, number 10.
Number 10, sir. Sorry, I was just busting on Rob a
No,
second, Matt.
You guys are good. Number 10, my favorite book in my collection.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Newsy McFarlane action.
Yep. I even have, you spoke of keychains earlier. I had to get the keychain from, what's his name? Switch Comics.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
But no, I love this cover, and it introduced the whole, now I have to buy
a lot of cover artists.
Yeah, now I have to buy every homage that comes along.
I mean, they don't love it as much as they love some of the Spider-Man McFarlanes, but they still, that book's probably number 3, or is definitely in the top 5 books of homage covers out there, by far none.
And hello, Warlord, and some of the in Mastodon, and some of the cool things about, love or hate McFarlane or pick on him or whatever. The dude had some unique designs. He has an eye, like the reflection in the claws was brilliant to have that, right? And even back when he was first starting out, if you look in like the Coyote book, he was doing different things with the layouts in that to make it different and attract attention to himself. So the guy has an eye for design.
Oh, well, just bored with homages.
Yeah. Now, are you a big McFarlane fan, or was it just mainly that issue?
No, I am. Him and Jim Lee remind me of the 90s. That reminds me of the books I pulled as a kid. Anytime I see those, like the covers, the artwork, it takes me back. So, like recollecting again, this was one of those books that I was like, I have to get it. I'm gonna break down.
Yeah.
Again,
great.
my
and there's
price
no good
range.
time to buy a book like that because the prices just keep going up. So it's one the sooner you get it out of the way, the better. Yeah, right here. S. Vaughn saying that cover is an absolute classic.
Yeah, it's classic. So far, I don't know. You came on here all nervous, thinking we're gonna make fun of you, your books. But you pulled out quite a few bangers there. Some impressive books thus far, man.
Some good legit keys.
Still, I don't know. The nostalgia ones mean more to me. The ones that you connect with.
Right. And that's the biggest thing about most of us that are in this community with comics is nostalgia. And we always say it, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, right?
It's very
expensive. It'll cost you some money. But when you get it, you're opening those pages, you're smelling the book, you're reading them. Oh, it's just, it's a whole experience. Yeah. No, you're not talking to anyone here that's not a victim of nostalgia. I mean, what you grew up with imprints on you so much that it's just great to revisit it. Sometimes it's a little rough too when you remember something in like a high stance and you go back and watch it or reread it and you're like, "Ooh, that was rough. What I see in that?" Because that happens sometimes too.
Well, that's like my old books that I got rid of. I'm almost glad I don't have them because of the things I did to them. Like I remember, you remember the old what was it? The ones with the hologram little card on the front.
Yeah, peel them off.
I used to peel those off just to get the card off the cover because I like cards so much. And it was like one of those, like I know I ruined my comics. I'm glad not to see how much I ruined them.
That's all right. We ruined a lot of baseball cards sticking them in the spokes of our bike. So
yep.
But if you're gonna ruin your books, you should only do it on Whack Comics channel. I don't know if you've been exposed to those guys yet.
No, I don't think I have, but now I
really?
have.
Yeah, that's a different brand of special.
Yes, and if you want to see books get ruined, go over to Whack Comics.
What do they do? I need to know.
Oh, they're just pure wackiness. It's better not to. It's better not to prep you. Just let you experience it for what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Understand that.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, it's comedy. Okay.
Yes, it's not something that can be explained. It's something that has to be experienced.
I can appreciate that. I will check them out.
All right, so number 11 with a personal story.
All right, seeing how we're going like full nostalgia on most of my books, this one it's not worth hardly anything. But this is, again, I bought it off eBay. This takes me back. Do you guys remember, like, I'm not taking shots. You guys are a little older than me.
But I didn't start collecting comics till the 90s.
Okay. Pizza Hut used to be the place back in the day to go to have birthday parties when you were young. You go in there, you get your personal pizzas, in the little
In the
cast iron
5,000
skillet.
degree,
Yeah,
skillet, yeah.
the red and white checkerboard. I don't know. Something takes me back to those Pizza Hut parties, like birthday parties and everything. And I remember when X-Men, when the cartoon, again, this goes back to the cartoon. If you're a 90s kid, you love those cartoons. And they had that run of the X-Men comics. You could order, I think it was like you order a pizza, you get a comic, you got a poster, you got the cup. And I remember my mom was such an awesome mom, taking me so many times because trying to get all the comics, like all 4. There was 4 books. I ended up getting them off eBay, but
oh right, I have the one that's got the Wolverine cover.
Yeah.
I got the minis, the 2 minis they put out.
It's just something about it. Like that really takes me back to those days. And I had to grab it when I saw it off eBay. Again, super cheap purchase, but going back, and these were polybagged. I was stoked because they were bagged, and whenever I got them, they were actually ripped open. But I was kind of excited because then I got to open the books and go through them again.
Yeah.
So,
dude, a book doesn't have to be pricey to be loved. Some of my favorite books don't cost anything at all.
And it's just seeing those types of books for you. It's just like for me, every time I see like somebody put up a bunch of like the old Burger King Star Wars glasses or something that they used to sell, it's like I see them, I go, oh, I should buy those. I remember those, and I go, then the better of me goes, no, don't buy those. You don't need those. What are you gonna do with those, you dummy? But at least that you're collecting comics already.
Right. It goes in the collection. I'll still pull it out here and there just to flip through them.
Yeah.
Now cool. I don't know if you remember from the 90s, but Hostess Ding Dongs used to they did a promotion once, and I ate far too many ding dongs in the 90s to get these damn comics. But it was a 4 Marvel issue series. Spider-Man was in every issue, and he teamed up with the Hulk, Wolverine, Silver Surfer, and it was just fun. And Jubilee.
No, I don't remember that. I don't. Maybe if I saw it in my jar of memory.
Yeah. So, it might cost you some money on eBay. They're not that. I think you can get all 4 for $20, but it's Hostess Marvel mini comics.
Okay.
And Wolverine is really prominent on one cover, looking great.
Imagine that.
Right?
It's because he's awesome. Whatever, Durs. Oh. No, I was just digging around my attic. I don't know if you guys saw the video. I did a video not too long ago. I'm digging around the attic, hunting for my old stuff in there. Found my old cards, and one of the cards in there was the Cracker Jack. It was a Cracker Jack Spider-Man card.
Ooh,
and I forgot all about that when the Cracker Jacks had the comic cards in there. It was cool.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
All right, you and K-pop just turned me on to that. I'm gonna have to look for those.
Yeah.
Probably not worth anything.
Those
but
product cards. Cool. Well, some of those you'd be surprised because sometimes they're somewhat limited runs or whatnot. At least it just depends upon the era and who's on it and whatever else. But
right, like
there's a whole group of people who sometimes their collection is focused on the promotional giveaway type cards as opposed to the standard production cards because they can be harder to get a complete run of. Those promotional cards because just from the standpoint of it was hit or miss, were you going to get it? So people who are looking to put together a complete run of those that are collectors of those, they'll step up if that's the one that they need.
That makes sense.
And you'll find like a lot of us, we don't collect things for money. We collect them because of the attachment we have to them personally. Like, Spider-Woman. This card's not worth anything, but big Jessica Drew fan, so there it is.
That's cool.
And even better is a gift from the community. So, it doesn't get much better than that. All right, so I'm curious because you said you just got back into comics. Like Rob said, you brought out a bunch of great comics already. So what is your spec pick from your collection?
All right. Told you I wasn't into slabs. Only slabs guy is on the show.
Here comes a slab.
I only have one slab.
So you're a good candidate for lonely slabs.
Lonely slaps for sure. For sure. X-Men, like with already all the X-Men movies that's been done, you've had Magneto, you've had Apocalypse. Like, I don't know, are they gonna Magneto is such a big character, like he has to be in there, but they haven't done Mr.
Mr.
Sinister.
Sinister. Yeah,
And
there
he's
you go. Good
such an
job.
awesome character to me. Like to me, he reminds me of like the Iron Man version of a villain. He's so cocky, but so interesting and like has so many like parts to him. It would be such an awesome character to see in the MCU. So
It
who
would.
knows if it'll ever happen? I hope it does though, because
Oh,
I would love it.
I'm with you. I'd love to see him. I say proper job on that one there, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
and he's got a great character design too.
Yeah, and it's nothing like it's not a crazy design where it couldn't be done.
Yep.
You got Mastodon asking you who you would fan cast as Mr. Sinister.
Oh goodness, I have no idea.
Favorite X-Men.
Somebody good who doesn't suck.
Right? An actor that can act.
It'll be some no name. It'll be a no name.
Yeah, but see, I'm always on board with a no name because
Right.
Then they can make that character their own. Hugh Jackman was a no name. Nobody knew who he was when he got cast as Wolverine.
His parents knew.
That's and some Aussies knew.
Awesome.
Great stuff. Yes,
I endorse. That's a great spec pick.
That's all I got.
Because you're speculating that potentially he could come as X-Men are coming down the pipeline
Right.
into the MCU, that as a significant villain, that he could be somebody that could come up. Very good. I like
It's a
that.
hopeful pick.
The way you articulated that was fabulous.
and that is a very. You're not the only one with that spec pick either. That is a solid pick, and not only that, with the X-Men now at Marvel, they're not just going to rehash every villain that Fox used.
Right.
I want to see the Morlocks. I would like to see Mr. Sinister. There's so much that they can delve into in that X-Men universe.
Good stuff. Awesome. K-pop, I'm not available, but thanks for suggesting it.
Right? Oh, theirs has a really good suggestion. Matt Smith.
I don't know. Maybe.
Right? I said if he wasn't already Doctor Strange, Benedict could have been a good Mr. Sinister too.
Yeah. He's got to be a little more buffed up though, Can't be
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know, but we haven't seen a proper Emma Frost yet, or Black Tom Cassidy, and we haven't seen Siren or Banshee yet either. Well, we saw Banshee a little bit.
Let's just not go down the list of X-Men we haven't seen yet because it's
Right?
long and distinguished.
No, see, now you were nervous for no reason. Everything you bought was legitimately great, fun, personal to you, which is all this show is about, is what's personal to you. That was great sharing, and I hope you had fun doing it.
I did. No. Thank you, Gary, for having me on. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, the edibles kicked right in about book 3, huh?
No. No. None of that stuff. This is my first live show I've been on. Again, my show, it's brand new. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing.
It's trying to do this.
It is. Once you do a few of them, you'll never think about it again.
Yeah, you come on somebody else's first, you do a couple things like that. Next thing you know, then you experiment with a couple lives yourself, and then you actually schedule an advanced lives where people would actually plan to show up as opposed to just randomly show up. And next thing you know, you're not wanting to do recorded content any longer.
I hope so. The whole recording thing, editing and everything.
That's why I keep it simple.
Yeah, editing, unless you're DJ Links and are just absolutely incredibly fantastic at it, it's tough. And not only that, I think you have to have a legit joy to want to do it. Like you really enjoy the editing. Most of us don't. We make content, we just want to get it out, damn it.
Yeah.
But Rob, what's coming up for you, sir?
Today's what day? Tuesday. Well,
Yep.
in a little bit, I'll be over on Taylor Winder's channel is for Cranky Comic Chat, where we might talk about comics at some point. Uh, tomorrow I'll be over on Chris the Comic Vic's channel for new comic book day show off, and Thursday I have content dropping, but I'll be over here. I'll be in a CBCS unboxing on Thursday, and then I'll be here in the evening for In the Hot Seat as the guest. And then Saturday, we got our only slabs. This week, Justin Birch, comic book letterer extraordinaire, comes on for his second appearance to show some of the great slabs in his collection. We'll continue to march to 1,000 and continue to show off all the great giveaways we have until we get there and I can give away a dozen slabs.
Yeah. And Rob, you did not go small, guys. We'll have Rob give you a preview again Thursday night. But it is a hell of a giveaway. Rob doesn't go small when he does something. Rob goes all the way in. Rob doesn't dip a toe, full body. But
That's why I have a large mustache.
right. So what's coming up for you, Matt?
Comics by the Bay, same as usual. I think Friday I got actually a couple people are sending me the stickers. I got to send my stickers out, but they sent me stickers. I got something from eBay, so I'll do a unboxing Friday, and then just weekly comic review Saturday, and this week's sneak peeks Sunday.
Nice. All right. Obviously, you already heard from Rob on my channel. We have Rob on In the Hot Seat with the Usual Suspects. We're gonna have, of course, Savage Saturday comic review, and we'll worry about next week. All right. Life has been busy, and we're getting things scheduled. We have a lot of people in the tank. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want to thank Rob for co-hosting tonight. I want to thank Matt for coming on. Thank you, Matt. It was a blast having you and getting to know you as a person.
Thank you.
And
say hi to your brother for us too.
Right?
I will do.
And I want to thank the audience. We had a great turnout right from the get-go. A lot of people here to make Matt nervous, and we appreciate that. We're all about making the guests uncomfortable. So thank you all for tuning in and supporting him. And until next time, guys, keep it casual.